The boys are back in town. Sunnydale, the sound of Sunnydale, and with the JBs are B, and you're jacked in to Buffy's Angels. We are talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and its sister show, Angel, and I'm ready to do it. Empty Places, the fourth to last episode of Buffy. Peace Out, the penultimate episode of season 4 of Angel. And I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg, the host with the most, the Buffy expert himself, award winning Buffy analyzer, Daniel Ehrenberg. And over there, the host with the least, Logan B. Sorry.
What award did you win?
I didn't actually win. I came in. I was nominated for an award.
What award?
Best. I guess like term paper at my high school, my college.
Oh, this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just make saying stuff.
No.
That's cool. That's really cool.
All right, Logan.
Yeah.
We've got
I bet I have more notes. I bet you have less notes than me.
I definitely have fewer notes.
You're the host with the least notes on this podcast.
That's right true. Now,
so take that.
Listen, who could argue with that? Someone who's wrong. That's who.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's get into it right away. Let's start with Buffy. These aired on consecutive nights, April 29th and April 30th, 2003. Wow. All right. April 29th. I don't know too much in the way of like shit that was going on. It didn't seem like that much was going on that week. But the number one movie in America is Identity.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I know. What a film. What a film.
Amanda Pete.
Debuting at number 5, Confidence. That was like a heist movie with Ed Burns. I've talked on the podcast before about how I used to just randomly pick up the DVD at Barnes & Noble because Rachel Weisz looked really hot on the cover.
Oh, that's that one. Yeah, of course.
Coming in at
Whose
number
arm?
9.
Oh, it's Dunst. Sweaty arm.
The sweaty arm on the cover of Wimbledon.
Right.
Yes. I'll always remember this. That's the sweaty arm movie.
Right.
Number 9, debuting at number 9, It Runs in the Family. That was a film that had all the Douglases, Kirk, Michael. Are there other Douglases? Anyway, it had a bunch of Douglases in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. And then debuting at number 10, The Real Cancun, which was advertised at the time, the first ever reality movie.
That's cool.
Because it was like a reality show, but a movie.
Why don't we do that?
Because that movie fucking tanked and everyone hated it.
So one thing did bad and we don't do it anymore?
I think it's weird that they called it that anyway. What's a documentary?
Oh, that's no, this is different. I feel like that's what Sean Baker makes, reality movies. I feel like he tries to do that.
Maybe.
You watch Prince of Broadway, it's like what that is.
I could see them doing it like a game, like a Survivor, edit it together as a movie, like a season.
I always thought it'd be cool if someone scripted a Survivor season.
I know you said that before, and I do not understand. That sounds so lame to me.
I think that'd be really cool.
I know you did. Why don't you start working on that? All right. I'll tell you what album came out the day this Buffy episode aired. The Yeah Yeah Yeahs released their debut album, Fever to Tell. What a classic.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't really know the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
They're an incredible band.
Yeah.
Listen to some more Yeah. Wait, it's the yeah. It's just the word yeah.
I didn't know if it was like Y-A.
No.
Like yeah.
What an incredible band. What, you don't know the song Maps? That was a big hit.
Heads will
they
roll.
Don't love you like I love you. They don't love you like I love you.
Yeah, I know that one.
What a classic. But they're a great band, great guitarist, Nick Zinner, great front woman, Karen O. They also have a drummer. Don't remember his name. Okay. Now what
Brian Chase.
Thank you.
I know he's listening. He was like, "What? You know,
appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. He's a good drummer too. I should, he's rocking the shit out of that song. Pin, out of that
Whoa.
song. Why Control. He's killing it.
All
Uh,
right.
all right. We've got this episode of Buffy, Empty Places. It's written by Drew Z. Greenberg. This is his last episode.
Oh no.
But he just joined us last season, so it's not like that's not like a huge loss. But how about this? Directed by James A. Contner. His last episode, final episode by James A. Contner. He's been with us. His first episode was season 2, episode 16, Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
Classic.
Yeah, and he's been with us ever since. And we're saying goodbye to him this week. Goodbye to you.
I forgot that was on Buffy.
By the way, in the commercials for this episode, because there were no reruns. Like this was the first episode. It was like now from this week, next week, like it's.
Should we go through all of his episodes?
We're finishing the show. All right. And I remember the commercials for this episode had "Goodbye to You" and
Oh shit.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
All right, well, yeah, sure. What James A. Contner? Let's see.
Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, and then in season 3, he's got 4 episodes: Faith, Hope, and Trick, Revelations, Helpless, and Choices.
All great
there, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then season 4, he's got 6: The Harsh Light of Day, The Initiative, the one you were not there for, yeah. Doomed, The Iron Team, New Moon Rising, Primeval. So again,
right, Doomed is a little weak, but the rest of them are fantastic.
Good call. Season 5, The Replacement, I Was Made to Love You, Spiral.
Great.
Look at that. Look at that. Season 6,
of our best.
Dead Things, Entropy, Grave.
Great.
Season 7, Same Time, Same Place, Potential, Empty Places.
All right.
He's one of our best guys.
Yeah, he's one of our best.
That's 20 episodes there. See you later, James.
Bye, James.
Goodbye to.
Have a goodbye to James.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. Empty Places. What are your notes?
We better not say goodbye to James Marsters for at least a few more episodes. Am I right? Anyway, we Buffy time? Yeah, Buffy. There's traffic leaving Sunnydale. Clem stuck in it. Buffy talks
That's
to Clem.
True. Yeah.
And he's like, hey, good luck, but I don't have that much confidence in you. Or something like that, basically.
He's like, maybe you should just go. Like,
yeah, don't
save yourself. Yeah.
But no, that's not who she is. We have Giles and Willow.
She's like Colby, right?
I was gonna leave. But
yeah.
Yeah, she is like that. Was Willow doing mind control on this cop? Is that what was happening?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Her and Giles get some info out of this cop. But he
kept
like having memory
loss.
I
recognize this cop. He had a good TV career. He still shows up and stuff. He's one of these guys, journeyman, never had like a really huge role in anything, but like he's been in a ton of shit.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Dorian Missick.
Is that his name?
Police officer credited.
Is it a black guy?
Honestly, my IMDb is like not loading. Like
it is. No. That I looked up Dorian Missick, and that's exactly who he is. He was on Luke Cage. He had a little role on there for a few episodes. He was a regular on Southland, I think. I think he was a regular also on The Cape, which I watched all of, and it got canceled. It was pretty bad. All right, go ahead.
Oh yeah. We
6 Degrees. That's what I remember him from the most. He was on a show called 6 Degrees that only ran one season and then was canceled, but I fucking loved that show. And it was like the leads were Campbell Scott, Hope Davis, Erica Christensen. It had a really good cast. And he was like, yeah. And like the only black dudes on the show were him and Michael K. Williams.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Damn. I was gonna.
But my favorite episode of 6 Degrees, there was an episode that was called The Puncher, and there was a guy who was just like developing a reputation. There's a puncher loose in the city. He just keeps randomly punching people.
That happens. There's like people like in New York that just like you'll just walk the street and get punched.
Yeah, but this he's a serial puncher. But nuts. Then it turns out that he was punching all of the all the people that like his girlfriend cheated on him with or something like that. It was,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I'll always remember that episode. The Puncher.
I watched what show? 6 Degrees.
6 Degrees. Yeah, it was J.J. Abrams produced it but did not create it.
Oh, I watched the Long Island serial killer. You know about
Oh,
this?
I'm about to watch that because I've been following that case for years, Logan. The
I was
Gilgo
wondering.
serial killer. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
That was hot news when I was younger. And then last year, I go home to visit my family
Yeah.
and he gets caught. I
No
was there.
way.
I was fucking there when he got
That's
caught, even though I
nuts.
moved. Amazing.
That is so cool. Did you
Yeah.
know him? You're like, wow, I saw that guy once.
No, no,
That would be crazy.
but I was like so into it. I spent like days just reading anything I could about it, and in like the local newspapers because I was there.
That's nuts. It was
Yeah,
pretty cool. It was I think it's only like 3 parts or so.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I was into it. And then we're at the this was like Buffy's worst moment in the whole series, honestly. This sucked. Where she won't play cards with Willow and Xander in the hospital room. She's like, I
Oh,
gotta go. I'm actually not gonna play cards with you guys. I was like, fuck you,
she
Buffy.
has been sort of isolating herself.
Xander just lost his eye. He's like, are you gonna stay and play cards with me? And she's like, I gotta take off.
Yeah,
Like
that doesn't
play
sound.
cards
That's
with
not our
me.
Buffy. See, she's so the Slayer now.
I
She's like
know.
forgotten who she was. Like when she and Xander and Willow, they would like watch like Bollywood films and do the English parts themselves.
Mm.
They make them up, or you know, uh,
She probably doesn't even
you
wear
know,
her yummy sushi pajamas anymore.
yeah. Remember they made jack o' lanterns in Xander's basement. That they used to do shit like that.
She can't even play. He just lost his freaking eye. That sucked.
Yeah.
But we're talking in the room, and Xander he says he wants a parrot, which was pretty funny, trying to have a sense of humor about it.
He
And
said, I
Willow,
think I still have the Halloween costume. I didn't mention this back then, but this was foreshadowing. Back in
hmm,
All the Way, episode 6 of season 6, Xander is his Halloween costume is a pirate and he's got an eye patch on.
was that the traveling pants?
Yes,
I can't think of her name. I can never think
Amber
of her
Tamlin.
name. I'm stuck with her name, Amber Tamlin. We and then this is very funny. Xander says, "Well, at least no Jaws 3D."
What?
He says he doesn't have to watch Jaws 3D ever
Oh yeah,
again
no
because
one will
no
ever
one.
make me watch that
That
because
was
he has
very
no
funny.
depth perception.
But then
Yeah,
Willow just starts crying. They're trying to be positive, but she
yeah,
can't
and
help
Xander's like,
herself.
"Don't do that."
Yeah, I loved that moment. That was very
Yeah,
sweet between those two.
it's great.
Probably the scene of the episode to me. And I just wrote Anya with a million exclamation points because she wasn't in the last episode or last couple. I feel like I haven't seen her. It's just because we haven't done Buffy in a bit, right?
Yeah.
But I miss Anya. She looks incredible too. It's
She honestly, I thought so this week too. Like
out of
she's wearing
control.
this like shirt with like puffy balls on it, and her midriff is slightly bare, and I thought she was looking really top notch Anya this week.
I agree. I agree. So good. Maybe she needed that week off. Pilates. I got to do a week of Pilates. I don't know what it was, but she's explaining about like Caleb and whatnot. She says Uber vamps galore, and she has what's his name, Andrew, writing on
And
the
yeah,
board.
Andrew's writing on a whiteboard behind her.
Well, I thought it was a whiteboard, and then he
It was an
flips the piece of
easel.
paper.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought that was my first note too. Was oh
Mm.
whiteboard because I don't have it right now.
I liked
But
when he wrote down steak, STEAK, and then
that was so
crossed it out
stupid.
and wrote
Is he a moron?
STEAK.
How did he do that? Like,
He
how
is a
dumb is
moron.
he? I never thought that was part of his character. He was so stupid. But I loved Anya too. She's like, there's like people hanging out on like a place where her and Xander had sex once. She's like, and that place, me
A
and
cot.
Xander, yeah,
Yeah.
that cot back there, me and Xander had sex on all the time. And then the girls get off of it. Very funny. We get a little faith
That is so
action.
not my reaction. Like if someone tells me
You'd
they
like
had sex on
like
something,
start licking it
I
up.
wouldn't lick it,
Oh,
obviously. I would just smell it to see if there was maybe a whiff of sex.
right. How silly of me.
Yeah.
Right, right. But Faith, well, Faith, there's a big Faith episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's back on the show, but like Faith loves to eat. You catch, she's like in every scene, Faith's eating,
Yeah, she's
so
like
she's
Brad Pitt.
it might be a thing. Like she needs something to eat. It helps her. But she's eating chips in this scene. She steals the hot pocket.
Tito's.
Yeah, is that a real
That was the
brand?
brand. I don't think so, but
Yeah, it
I
didn't
liked it.
seem real. Was she eating like cheddar cheese chips? I don't like those chips.
I do
A
love them.
cheddar chip is like my least favorite kind.
Oh, that's a delightful chip.
That's my least. I don't like it. Maybe I did when I was little, but uh, Kennedy talks to Faith. She's like a big Faith fan. Hey, Faith, what's going on with you? And we get. By the way, this is where. This was hilarious. She says, anytime Anya talks about Xander, I just tell her I had him first, and that usually shuts her up.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? That's crazy. But we learned that we go get something for Dawn is like helping out. We send her to go get something for Giles, basically. And Kennedy is like bullying. She's not bullying Buffy, but she's like, last time Buffy, you went in there, he rendered you useless with one single punch. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh.
And then she apologizes. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that." And I'm
Then at
like,
the
"Cause
end,
you're
they
a
all
fucking asshole, Kennedy. That's why you said that."
but then they
I
all go in
remember.
on her.
I remember the Buffy fans after this episode turned on Rona so hard.
Yeah,
Like when she says "Ding dong, the witch is
that
dead."
sucked.
Yeah, and Dawn says, "Shut up."
She really sold that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was pissed. But so Buffy, she leaves the house because she's like, they're all being mean to me, telling me I got my ass kicked. So she goes to like the school, which I didn't know she could still do. Last I checked, she got fired, right?
well, the school's not even open, is it?
Oh yeah, maybe she snuck in after her, but she's like
Yeah.
at her desk crying, like looking at a
Oh yeah,
picture.
and she's got a picture of her and Xander
It
and
was very
Willa.
sad.
Hmm.
And then Caleb shows up and like kicks her ass again, throws her out through the glass window. And
Yeah.
he says, or he said, I'll see you soon, little lady. I wrote that line down. I thought that was pretty scary. And she says, or this is what Dawn. Oh, I wrote this down for Tim. This is a Tim shout out here. Do you catch this? She
No.
says, this is a
Oh yes, Gilroy.
Dawn says it's a mission up north in Gilroy. That's where Tim lived. Not to like
Yeah,
dox Tim, but
crazy.
last I checked, Tim was from Gilroy, California. So
This could be his priest.
maybe they're talking about that garlic festival up in Gilroy. Go visit the garlic festival.
No, but see, Tim believes in God. He loves the Lord, and so this might have been his church.
Wow. I'm thinking of the next episode where it's like a Jasmine church.
Oh no,
The angel.
that's the one where Connor goes. But remember, he like interviews like Spike, sort of like finds a guy who knew Caleb. He's like,
right.
hey, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah. And where were we at? Oh, this
Gilroy.
is no, yeah. This is where Angel or not Angel. I'm thinking about Angel. Andrew is talking. He's like, Faith. She comes into Giles, like, Mr. Giles. He calls him Mr. Giles, which is a great callback to Mr. Charles, obviously. He says, Faith ate my mozzarella meatball hot pocket.
Hot
Somebody
pocket.
needs to yell at her about it.
Look, the post-it is still there, but the box is empty.
That was cruel. She didn't throw it away. She
I
left
know.
it to give him the hope of there's something in there, and then you pick it up and there's nothing. That is fucked up, honestly. And that was very funny though. And he said, "It's not about the hot pocket; it's about the respect." I get where he's coming from. He says, "This is where Amanda. So Amanda is sort of I think Amanda's probably the most prominent potential. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like
Or Kennedy?
Amanda, Kennedy, and Rona are the really prominent.
I think Amanda
ones.
and Kennedy are way more than Rona. I think there was like an episode where Rona didn't even do anything. But Amanda, we give a lot. We trust Amanda to deliver lines. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. And here she says, or he sends Amanda to go get Spike from the basement, and Spike comes up and says, "What's up, Rupert?" I love that moment. And Faith comes in eating eating his Andrew's hot pocket. He says, "When can we talk about the stealing food situation?" He's just so caught up on that, and it sucks. No one's listening to him. No one values anything he's saying.
But you know what? He's making himself known, and he gets a nice little trip with Spike out of it.
Yeah, I love them two together. That should be a spinoff. This seemed like a backdoor pilot to like the
Yeah.
Andrew and Spike show. Uh,
People talked about that at the time. He's also wearing the same helmet on the back of the motorcycle that Dawn wears in the season 6 premiere.
oh wow, yeah, I remember that. That was in the opening
Yeah.
credits for a little
Mhm.
bit. I don't know if it still is. I thought this was a weird edit, one of the weirdest edits ever. I wrote down even down the time, 1946. Okay, might be a little before that, but it's when Giles tells them, he's like, "All right, Andrew, you're gonna go off with Spike, and you guys are gonna go do something." And he like reaches over to Andrew, and he like leads him to the door, and then he goes to reach for his tea or whatever, and then it cuts to him drinking, and then it's another cut of him like turning with the tea.
Weird.
Fucking weird. Yeah, they cut it in wrong. I don't know what was going on. But all the potentials are bored. Faith notices, says, "Hey, we got to go do some shit, or all these potentials are going to lose their mind and not want to do anything for Buffy, or like not want to part. Like they're going to lose their will to live, basically." I thought this was more the Bad Girls sequel than Dirty Girls, though.
Well, this was definitely an excuse to see Faith dancing at the Bronze again.
But I kind of don't like that now. Now that we had Dirty Girls, and then this episode, which I'm gonna think is Dirty Girls forever.
We're playing the hits. It's
I'll never, I'll never get over that though.
but this is important. They go to the Bronze. This is our last appearance of the Bronze on Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
No,
a location that's been with us since
you're
the pilot
kidding.
episode. Yeah, and also the band playing the final band that ever plays at the Bronze is Nerf Herder,
Whoa.
the creators of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer theme song.
That, well, that's awesome.
That's why they give that line to Dawn. Like they're like, what kind of a band plays like during the apocalypse? And Dawn's like, I think this band is a sign of the apocalypse.
Oh, very, very cool.
Yeah,
So they probably knew this was the last episode with the
they
bronze.
did. They did. They planned this out.
I would have had like the final hangout be at the bronze, like after they beat the big bad at the end of the series. Let's all go to the
You
bronze.
don't know if these characters are gonna fucking survive this
You're
series.
right. I mean, they've talked about a reboot, which sadly might spoil the show for me a little bit. But you know how Friends ends where Chandler's like, "Hey, where should we go hang out?" That's like the last line of Friends.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like obviously the that cafe that should be here. They all go to the bronze. Hey, where should we go listen to music? Anyway, I thought it was very fun. We fight some cops. Some cops show up. We fight them. Buffy shows up and she's like, "Hey, if
One of
it's
these cops is the dude who played Billy in the episode Billy of Angel.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't notice. I feel like I should have noticed. I probably remember that guy's face.
Mhm.
That's cool though. And but Buffy shows up. She's like real mad because they're like, why don't we put it to a vote? And Buffy's like, well, if that's the case, I should be able to take you guys out. Like I didn't know it was going to be a popularity contest basically
Yeah.
between me and Faith, which sort of sucks. But you got to know, you got to want them to like you if they're going to fight with you.
You got to play the social game.
Exactly. That's what they got to want to vote for you in the end. We have Caleb talking to the first as Buffy.
Yeah.
Buffy first. More of that. And
One thing that bothers me about that conversation is Buffy, Sarah Michelle Gellar is losing her voice during this episode. It's a little
yeah,
croaky, and which is fine. It actually makes a lot of sense for the character at this
I
point
thought
in the series.
I
She's
thought it was
so stressed
acting.
out. Yeah, but the when she's the first, she has the same croaky voice, and that kind of
Uh,
that's just because of the actor.
that's a good call. I thought
Mhm.
she was faking this voice, and I was like super impressed. But that's just she was going through some strep or something. But
Yeah,
we talk. Oh no, Molly mentioned Faith is like the vineyard and Molly and all that. That was bad. I don't know.
yeah.
Mentioned Molly.
I know. I thought of you when they mentioned Molly.
Got
I
to
was
bring
like,
that up.
Logan
I
probably
was not
popped.
doing my duty if I just let that go.
Hmm.
We get Andrew and Spike on their motorcycle, Spike's motorcycle, I guess, and we talk about let's stop for burgers and curly fries, and then Spike says, "Hey, there's this what's called an onion blossom." He says onion blossom thing.
It's the Bloomin' Onion. You familiar with
Okay,
the Bloomin' Onion?
I've heard of it. I don't know what that is.
But you remember Spike has referenced this twice before. This is Spike's
Oh
favorite
wow.
food. He
Okay,
loves the fucking
I
Bloomin'
got to check
Onion.
it out then.
Yeah.
but he doesn't know the name. The onion blossom thing, he calls it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they sort of nerd out about that. They're like, well, the secret is they do this and this, and then
Yeah.
they flip it over and they do that.
And then Andrew goes masterful.
Oh man, they're so I love them. Love those guys. He might be the MVP of this episode, Andrew. I didn't write it down. Buffy's good. Wood shows up to the house. We're having like a get together for Xander. Xander's coming home from the hospital,
And
and
Wood bonds with Faith.
he does. Everyone's bonding. Everyone loves Faith. Everyone's more Team Faith than
Hey,
Buffy,
but that's how it happened in the original when Faith first showed up. Remember, everyone loved her at first.
including me. I was ready to just turn the show into Faith. Faith, Faith the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
Remember when they said that on Angel? This is Faith the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
That was epic. Who said that? Wesley? I don't remember who said that. That was so cool.
Might
Might have been Angel. I don't remember. Uh,
It wasn't Angel because Angel was Angelus at the time.
Oh, you're right. You're totally right. We Spike arrives, talks to this guy. He's got a symbol on his face. I don't know what the symbol was, but I wrote symbol, so it must have been a symbol. And we talk about how
It wasn't on his face, was it? I think it was on like the wall behind him.
maybe because that's the story he tells about Caleb.
Yeah.
He came and he read the writing, and he like freaked out and started killing everybody. And Spike read what it was. I only got the end of it. It is for her alone to wield. Something about that.
Yeah, I know what this is referencing.
Yeah, obviously. You probably wouldn't be a Buffy expert if you were like, what is that about? What?
That's right.
So Buffy has a plan, basically. She's like, hey, it's sort of weird that he's hanging out at this vineyard place, not at the seal of Danzelthar. Maybe that's not important, but the vineyard is. We got to keep going at that, keep attacking that place. But Faith is like, I don't think so, B. The last time you did that wasn't so good. And then everyone jumps in. This is crazy. So Rona says Buffy's obsessed with Spike. That's one of Rona's things. You're obsessed.
Honestly,
with that guy.
that's a fair point, Rona.
It is. All of her motivations have been like Spike related, basically. And then Kennedy jumps in, and Willow sort of jumps in, and then Kennedy is like, Willow, I'm tired of you always defending Buffy. And then Willow's like, no, guys, I actually agree with you guys. Like, I'm actually anti-Buffy. And I was like, no, you too, Willow. And then it gets even
at two.
Whatever. And then but it gets even worse because Anya says, yeah, I know you were born with more advantages than us, but at this point, are you actually the best option to beat them? And then I was like, "You too, Anya? What's going on?"
That was the shot she like hottest in the episode.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, I remember in that moment going like, Anya, hello.
Well, that'll be the thumbnail for the YouTube. Anya there. And then Xander. I knew where Xander was going with this as soon as he started. He says, I'm just trying to see your plan here, Buffy. And I was like, oh, I know. I know where you're going, Xander. Mm-hmm. And then he says, but it must be to my left.
Yeah, must be a little to my left.
Very funny. Because I'm missing it, he says.
Yeah.
Man. And then that's when we get to the vote. Kennedy says, why don't we do a vote? And then Buffy's like, well, should I get you guys all drunk first or something?
Yeah.
And Buffy leaves. Dawn jumps in at the end and says, I think you should just go, Buffy. And I was like, E2, Dawn? What's going on?
I think, listen, Buffy's, you'd be dead, Dawn. You're not even a person. All right. You could have easily been killed to stop Glory. But Buffy sacrificed her life to make sure you have a life, that you exist. All right.
So does that mean she has to always be indebted?
Yes. Honestly, I think Dawn, like I judged Dawn for this moment.
No, I did too. That was totally uncool. That happened like a year ago, 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, and then ding dong, the witch is dead. And then Dawn.
Shut up.
No, you did it wrong.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. She gets really mad there. I loved it. And Buffy tells Faith, she says, she says something, and then like Faith interrupts her, and then she like finishes her sentence. I forgot what it was, but she like interrupted her before she could finish, and then she said like good luck leading them or something. Like she wishes her the best, and then she heads off into the night. Buffy on her own.
Yeah,
but she still got Spike on her side and Andrew when they come back.
Oh yeah, when Spike and Andrew come back, like that's weird. Like he kicked the
But
fucking
Andrew
Slayer out.
hates Faith. She's still his hot pocket, and Faith
That's
and
right.
Spike is. I mean, they bonded on the couch, him and
He
Faith.
hates Faith and loves Spike. Andrew.
Right. So but he's gonna do whatever Spike does. Maybe if Spike is Team Faith, maybe Andrew would be. And what did Giles do in this whole thing? I didn't feel like we didn't get any Giles.
Well, Giles sort of went along with the vote because Giles has his own issues with Buffy right now.
Right. There was the part I think we skipped over it where he was like, "Hey Buffy, I sent Andrew off with Spike," and she's like, "Oh, you sent Spike off to go die again? Is that what
Yeah.
happened?" She sort of confronted him about that a little more. Who? What do we go? Four?
Yeah, I think so.
I really like this. Oh shit! I don't have the things pulled up. Who's the MVP? I think I
Mm,
might go Andrew.
really? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go Buffy.
Yeah,
Yeah, Buffy and Faith, I think, are the highlights of this one.
I think that's fine. But I think the second runner-up highlights Spike and Andrew.
No, you're right. You're right.
I think I'm gonna
That
go
is
here.
kind of what this episode is remembered for.
Yeah, those.
Like I feel like Buffy fans think of this as like the one where Spike and Andrew are on the motorcycle
I don't
together.
think I'd remember the title though. I don't know if I'd ever make that connection. What is the title about?
Um, I don't know. I guess Buffy leaving people by themselves. And she goes to the school. Like I remember thinking about that when she went to the school. She's like she's looking for an empty place.
Hmm. Maybe he's talking about Xander's left eye socket.
Could be.
That's an empty place right now.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and put it here between lies my parents told me and Dirty Girls 75. The last couple episodes. It's hard for me to separate these. Faith.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have this around Dirty Girls too.
All
Maybe
right.
a little higher.
So Dirty
Where?
Girls, you have it 38 between Primeval and Lies My Parents Told Me. So right there with that episode. Just a little higher.
Yeah. What's underlies my parents told me.
Grave, another one of that guy's
All right, I
episodes.
changed my mind.
Ahead of it, Primeval. Oh, I said that.
Put this one slightly under Dirty Girls, then this, then lies my parents told me.
Wow, that's opposite of what I have. I have Lies My Parents Told Me, this, Dirty Girls.
Okay.
I love it though. All right. And now Angel time.